Hello, and welcome to Written Tech Foundation Tech Talk. It comes on every first Saturday, but today we are coming to you on the second Saturday of the month of August. And August started great. It's an awesome month, an awesome time. Just want to welcome you once more to today's episode of Written Tech Talk, brought to you by Written Tech Foundation. And today we are looking at digital inclusion and ICT skills training as a building pathway to opportunity. And today is the 9th of August 2025. So once again, I want to welcome you as we to our podcast where we do explore the power of technology to transform lives and communities. And I will be your host, Young Toze, and we'll be co-hosting with D. Mark Wilson, but he will be running a few minutes late, but he will be on tonight. So just stay tuned. Where you are this afternoon, we want to say good afternoon, we want to say good evening, we want to say good morning. If you're just waking up, as I am here, it's 10 a.m. here in Washington State, and I know Liberia is around 5 p.m. And your password word is either morning or nighttime. So you are once again welcome. And today we will be focusing on a topic that is at the heart of our mission at Retail Tech Foundation, and that is digital inclusion and ICT skills training. And you realize that as technology becomes more essential in everyday lives, we want to make sure that we have equitable access and skill training. Is no longer optional, right? It's necessary. It's a necessity that we need to have a digital skill set. There's no two ways about it. So today we will be looking at why digital inclusion matters, why it's important, uh, and why we need to pay attention to that as a society and as a country. So we will be diving into those different topics, and then we will be bringing you highlights as to what Region Tech Foundation is doing in that space in regards to digital inclusion and ICT skills training to help to bridge that digital divide within that part of the world, specifically in Liberia. So we'll be diving into that. We have lined up for you some infographics, some graphics, just to show you. A lot of times when there's picture or there's video, people are more attracted and more inclined to. Okay, Margaret just called. I'm sorry about the break-in. I'm going to allow D. Mark Wilson to come on, and then we'll continue our discussion for today. So he's preparing himself, and once he gets on there, we will begin to go dive into our topic. But as I said, digital inclusion is very important. It's very key. We are
Like
living.
the mic one too. Am I live?
Yes, you are live.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Morning. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, okay.
Great to
So
be here.
I gotta put I set up some slides and some infographics for us to just kind of walk through today with regards to digital inclusion, which we'll be discussing today, and then we'll be looking at what Retail Tech Foundation role is in that regards as it comes concerns digital inclusion and ICT skill training, and we'll be telling the public and the listening audience what we are doing, in that space when it comes to digital inclusion and ICT skill training. So I will just introducing the topic for today, which is digital inclusion, and then we'll ICT skill training on that. And then we will kick off with just why is it important? Why is digital inclusion important? Living in the 21st century in this day and age, and mostly it's 2025. So why is it that we are honing in and we are banking our faced on the importance of digital inclusion, mostly for our part of the world, where we're from for Liberia. With a lot, most part of the world have caught up, but you still have a chunk of word that have not caught up to that digital space and that being included within that digital landscape. So we are just speaking to those places and those parts of the world that have that been had the opportunity to be included within that digital landscape, and how can we arrive there, how can we take leap so to speak. Because at this point, we cannot walk. We have to leap, there because we are like way behind for a lot of things. So at this point, if you want to try to walk together, it's going to take a very long time to get there. So the only thing you can do, either you leap or you sprint, to get them as fast as you can. But in a very cautious way, and putting guardrails in place as we go along. So we'll just be. I just want to turn it over to you to give your introduction, and then we can go into why digital inclusion is important for Liberia and developing countries.
Well, that's great. I mean, it is a beautiful topic. As we know, um, the entire world is evolving right now. Everybody is moving ahead when it comes to um, technology,
Yeah.
and it is only important to uh, have Liberia on board as well. And I had a first hand um, testimony yesterday about you know people being left behind when it comes to even the awareness.
Yeah.
As we know, you know, retail tech, that's our core pillar over there. We want to create awareness. That is, have you heard the good news about you know if it comes to ICT? Have you heard the good news?
Right.
If you did, you ever have access to this good news? Because that one thing, having the good news and having access to it, that's another thing.
Yeah.
You know, and if you have access to it, were you able to at least make some move? So based on those three things, that's how Rethink Tech was giving birth to create awareness to the public, um, most especially to the young people of Liberia,
Right.
and then build labs where they can have access to whatever awareness they have gotten, and then training as well. So there was this sister of mine who went for an interview, a few days ago,
Yeah.
and all she needed, all she needed was just to navigate in Word, and this is what's
Oh
going
my
to be
God.
making almost $400.
Oh my God.
So,
I don't want to
well,
get it in this story.
so initially, right? Initially,
Yeah.
the prerequisite to this entire thing was, you should have computer knowledge. This sister is really good. I mean, she's good in other aspects, like in almost everything. But if it comes to computer, like she's not there. So she called me.
Yeah.
She was like, "What do I do?" And they said, "Would you have computer knowledge?" I'm like, "Well, that's a prerequisite. So if you tell them you don't have computer knowledge, you're not going to even
No.
they're not even going to go ahead with you in the first place. So you have to tell them you
Right.
have computer knowledge." So she was like, "Okay, yeah, I will do that." Went for the interview. So they came. The first question was, "Do you have any computer knowledge?" Oh yeah, I do. I do. Okay, you look good. In all the other area they tested, everything was okay. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 is excellent. For blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah, blah good, fair, and all of that. She was the excellent. They were like, "Oh, great! Wow,
Oh
that's what we're
God.
looking. That's what we're looking for, right? That's what we're looking for. That's great." And then, all right, they just brought out, a word document. They were like, "Okay, I have this document in Word. I just want to delete all of it so that I can, insert something new.
Oh
What do
God.
I do?" Yeah, what? I'm telling you, I have. Like I was like, I have this Word document, all these stepping out on it. I just want to
Yeah.
erase
I don't want
everything,
to.
and then inside new document. Where do I start from? Just when the sister could not even. She didn't even know where
Wow.
to start from. I mean, this is a living testimony I'm giving. She didn't even know where to
Wow.
start from. And the guy came and guy was like, "Oh, just do Control A, you delete, and then start typing." Sister lost the job. She couldn't get the job,
Wow.
and she's not alone. She is not
No.
alone. There are a lot of stories like that out there. Look, having ICT knowledge is not about you. even the cook out, like when she came back and she was telling us like, well, you are very good in all the other areas. You are a nurse, you are this, you are that, if it comes to hospitality, you are good in customer service is good into all of that. But once you don't have ICT knowledge, you are one
Yeah.
step behind. You are one step behind. The awareness, just the knowledge alone. So we're not telling you to come and be, to be cybersecurity analysts. No, it's about having the awareness, know how to navigate. If you are a
Yeah.
nurse, know how to go from your one medication to another on the computer. Because we are. I mean, the people think is the people age is going behind. We are putting all of those behind us. So let's say if you are just a secretary somewhere, be able to store your
Yeah.
clients or your employees or your co-workers information somewhere that you're able to find it. Another question I asked was how to just go and find a folder. And she don't even
Yeah.
know where to start from. And this is very smart, like very smart, very
That's a fact.
outspoken. That she will stand here, becomes the politician. She will look. You just want to make her the next vice president, but just that little knowledge she couldn't. So these are the kind of things we're talking about. We are not asking you to come and be computer experts, but are you aware that if you're a nurse, you need ICT knowledge? That's the kind of awareness we're talking about.
Yeah.
If you are selling, if you have your shop out there, do you know something they call Excel that you can create your own database and have information on your goods in your shop? These are the kind of basic things that we are lacking. So that's where written tech step in to
Okay.
create the kind of awareness, and not just to create the awareness, but also to give you hands-on training. We send people out there to train you because we are behind. Liberia is far, far, far way behind. And
Yeah.
if our economy is to start growing, we have to build the pillar of ICT.
Right.
There's no two way about it. There's no two way about it. Like I said, the world is evolving, and there's no way we can forge ahead without ICT awareness, without ICT hands-on training, without ICT centers. So we have to prioritize, you know, this area. They contribute greatly to any economy.
Okay.
Go to Rwanda, go to Kenya, go to other parts of the world. These people, you will realize that their foundation is built upon ICT, and because of that, they are growing every day.
All right.
So
Let's welcome Mr. Willard Johnson. I believe he's in Monrovia currently. He's the regional coordinator for Rating Tech Foundation out there. So, Mr. Willard Johnson, you're welcome to our Monday podcast, Rating Tech Talk. And today we are looking at digital inclusion and ICT skill training. And we'll just kind of give our introduction to that topic. So, you're welcome to have your 2 minutes in there with the topic, and then we'll move into other discussions.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's good to be on the show. I'm sorry for joining late, but it's good to be on. You see, I got 2 minutes.
Yeah. So just give an overview of the topic we're talking about, digital inclusion and ICT skill training.
So, as the name implies, digital inclusion. The way I see it is that consolidated efforts to ensure that everyone, regardless of income, location, age, education, or ability, have equitable access to geotechnology. So, irrespective of your social status, inclusion, it is that consolidated effort where everybody across the space have equitable access to geotechnology.
All right. Thank you for that. And then with that, I'll be leading off for the next topic, and I'll just be throwing some stuff out there, you guys, and then we will be looking at it with regards to why digital inclusion is key to poverty alleviation, right? How can we use digital inclusion to alleviate poverty from developing countries and developing world? I'll just throw out a few things, and then we'll talk about them. And then, so with digital inclusion, it gives you access to education and skills training. It brings about employment opportunity, entrepreneurship. We'll talk about financial inclusion. That's one that I want us to stress on and give some other examples. I talked about in my intro video yesterday about financial inclusion. I'm talking about the mobile money, for example, right? And it's so interesting how quickly we all forgotten how we used to have to leave from Grand Gita, especially to go to Monrovia to receive money at Western Union. If you live on the refugee camp before in Bujumbura, we used to leave from there to go to Accra and stay in long lines for hours to receive money from Western Union. But guess what? With digital inclusion, we have mobile banking, we have mobile money that has come and then has consolidated the whole process that we don't. These they put in go to Western Union to receive, but there are few people do. You receive your money from anywhere around the world on your mobile phone. You go to you go to a kiosk and you cash out your money. That is digital inclusion. We are including the people, the citizens within the financial sector space. So I would love to talk a little bit about that. And then when it comes to healthcare, and then when it comes to civic engagement, as we've seen over the last couple of years in politics and civic engagement, it has proliferated across social media where politics and everybody's giving our opinion and our views about issue and what's happening, and we are able to see in real time what is happening in Monrovia or in the capital or in the US or in Israel, like in most parts of the world, right? So it tells you how important digital inclusion is. So I just want us to take rounds and then just kind of like talk about each of these things. If you want to talk about digital access to education as a means of alleviating poverty, you want to talk about digital inclusion in the financial sector, in agriculture, or in healthcare. Let's take our take on that. Brother Mike, I'll give that to you. I think Brother Will just went off. You having a problem with internet connection. So let's just look at digital inclusion in education and then entrepreneurship or employment or the financial sector.
It's a really good thing. Digital inclusion is very important. But since we're talking about inclusion that has to do with everybody and
Yeah.
everything else, I want to just um kind of jump into our bigger employer in the country, in any country, as a matter of fact, right? Like the government. What does it mean for a government? You know, um, I want to talk about how digital inclusion can strengthen a government. So let's talk about maybe how we're able to curve bribery, for
Right.
instance. How about people accessing some programs online? Let's say if people accessing something like a ID card program, or let's say job application online. If we have effective system, if the government has an effective system that you can do online service, I don't have to go and meet Mr. Mark Wilson for he and I to negotiate based
So,
on.
you send
Okay,
me an
that's one of my brothers. I've been inviting him, so
Okay.
he just hop on a link. He's at you.
Okay.
Welcome to the show. This is Written Tech, which is discussing digital inclusion in Africa, particularly Liberia.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah,
all right,
thank you.
you
I
can just go on.
appreciate it.
You can just go on mute as you listen, and if you have contribution, we'll come on to ask you as
Okay.
well.
All right.
So we're talking about e-government services, right? Where we have most of our services online. And we were just talking about, where you don't have to go meet individual to access certain government services. They just
Yes.
online, protected
Uh-huh.
online. That alone can curve. It's not even eliminating though, because I mean corruption obviously is not going to be eliminated like that. But that it's going to reduce, it's going to minimize
Yeah.
the pace of corruption in the country. So if we have effective e-government services, voter registration, ID cards, passport services, online jobs. I'm really surprised that till now people still doing like walk-in applications to jobs. Yeah.
I,
Because we don't have.
I'm not cutting up. I saw the Ministry of Education the posting for the new model school they build, like your present application that that you can get it to the district education office in your county, and then they can send it to us. I'm like, what?
We're not supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to be doing that. So if we have effective digital, services, e-government services, these things will help to curb corruption, nepotism. Who know you? It will help to curb, you know, all those corruption that is going on in our country. So e-government services are very, very, very important. Here in the United States, you go online to apply. People will nobody even know you. You just sent your application,
Super
fill in
step
whatever
out.
you're supposed to fill in. You go and do what you have to do. You go to do your passport. You just fill in your look. When I was coming from Africa, right? I got to the airport. The queue was so long, and we have to wait and all of that. And they have this app where you can just download, fill in your information, ask a
Yeah.
few questions while you fill in all of that, and by the time you go, you're already gone.
Yep.
And kind of think about it. The time, because I was already working on a flight before I got down, and I had to
Yeah.
be in the office that day. Tell me if I was to be in the queue for
Yeah.
hours, I was going to miss my next flight to my destination.
Yeah.
But I was able to just access that service online, feed my information, ask me a few basic questions and all of that. And within 5 minutes, I was gone. That helps the economy. If I was supposed to leave from Pinsville to Broad Street, in no time, I access that service online. I save that other transportation. I save traffic where the president is supposed to be coming from work and my own car there, other cars there. I save that time and save a lot of things. So it is very important for us to pay key attention to these things. It helps uh, to boost our economy. It helps so many things: education, healthcare, entrepreneurship. Digital inclusion helps in all of these aspects.
All right, Brother, thank you so much. But after you, will come to you after Brother Bless to take your to have a take, and we want to welcome you to the show. We are talking about digital inclusion within Liberia and the developing world. How can we use that to alleviate poverty? So we'll come to you once we're done with Brother Bless with his 1 minute take on that. So, Brother, I'm going to give you the chance to hear from you in regards to digital inclusion, how it is key to, and how can we use that to alleviate poverty, and help to reduce, corruption in the sector for our economy. You're mute.
Thank you so much. Am I coming good?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think recently, I think it was last 2 months ago in June, I was fortunate to attend a conference. Few folks from the States organized this Archibolium conference, and as part of the conference, we were looking at blockchain technology,
Okay.
how blockchain, how this technology is unique, it is transparent, and it solves a lot of problems today for Liberia. So, in terms of transparency, say for example, today in Liberia, when you buy a piece of property, say you buy a land,
Mm-hmm.
after 5 years or 7 years, somebody just come from the blues, they say the land for them. They will tell
That's
you
a
that
problem.
they will tell
Serious
you
one.
that property is for them. So with technology, so one of the things we were saying to the land authority that were present in that conference was that with technology, we can create a unique system, especially if using the blockchain technology,
Mhm.
that is not compromised because it is managed by millions of nodes. It is not
Right.
managed by a single individual or a centralized system. So, but that's blockchain. When you when you when you include technology in whatever services, they the performance is top notch. For example, the Ministry of Finance after post war, when Manasali became president, the Ministry of Finance all along it was just people trade here and there. When you ship a continuum to Clay, you go to the other office, go to Beaver, go here and there. What
Right.
they included technology into their processes. So currently, the Ministry of Finance and the port uses a software called Azakuda. With
Okay.
Azakuda, the government is able to track it. The government is able to efficiently track every continuum that comes to a
Just
show
a minute.
in terms of taxes, in terms of revenue generation.
Right.
So technology brings transparency because there is accounting, there is authorization, and there is auditing process in technology. We call it the triple E.
Right on.
Look at today. Look at our business registration process today. Our business registration process is a serious challenge
It
for us as
is.
an organization. We
Yep.
we went to the government. We told the people we want to register our organization because we are a 501c. We say we want to register our Chapter 9 Liberia. It's taking over a month to get that. You go to other countries, it takes you at least 24 hours to get your business registered because
Yep.
everything is done online. There's a form online. That form is authenticated, it is secure. You access that form, you fill out with all your details, you just file it in. People can do their due diligence process. It shouldn't take 2 to 3 days to have a business registered. But today, registering a business in Liberia is chaotic. So until we can move from manual processes, even our educational processes, like you talk about education, gender skills and educational equity. Today, over 90% of public schools doesn't have a functional ICT lab. Not to talk about a science laboratory.
Ah,
We got excited recently when we launched the school you're talking about, when we launched that school in Bon County, because it's an
yeah.
excitement for us. So we have to be intentional. I'm happy that this president is talking a lot about technology, but again, what is the roadmap they want to use when they talk about digital inclusion like this?
Right on.
There must be a study conducted that you must have for us tech people, we work with data. What empirical data are we using to solve Liberia digital challenges? So until we are intentional,
I mean,
then it's a
let me
serious
not
problem.
let me just inject. Do we have the data though? I mean, you got to do the research though, because it's like, I mean, I guess the data is there. You can visibly see that we don't have like the schools or public schools. ICT is not existent. Even at the premier university of the Republic of Liberia, like it's no existence, right? And even with the recent comment from the Speaker of the House talking about he was talking to some foreign dignitaries that I got for some occasion, that he was asking them to assist the House of Representatives to have a website. And I just bow my head in shame. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like a website? Your office has a budget of billions of millions of dollars, and you're asking the foreign partner to help to get a website for the House of
So
Representatives?
so
You
so
know what I
so
Look,
mean?
so so
I'm
my
not
my,
gonna.
So
my point
yeah,
is
uh-huh,
so my point is one minute quickly. My point is
yeah,
we just not intentional about being digital inclusive because with technology it solves a lot of problems. We
right.
just not ready. It is not that expensive. It's something we can afford.
Okay,
If we can buy one individual a car for 3 years worth 45,000, 45,000 can build 45,000 can build almost all of the government ministry website. Can you imagine? It is just recently, I think 6 months ago, that the Senate, the whole Senate got a website. So at that level of government, they are still they are still struggling. What about the population? Thank you very much.
okay, all right. Thank you so much, bro.
Look,
Mike, you want to say something, right?
yeah. Look, those that website and everything you're talking about. 2 years ago, when I went to Liberia, I was one of the president that proposed that to them. Look, I went from one office to another asking questions if it comes to technology, and everybody was so much behind. I proposed that to them, like, why don't you guys have a website, the government website? Why is it that we don't even look in the first, we don't even have a telephone cable running in the building? So, but I mean, that's by the way. It just I
Yeah,
don't want
it's
I don't want to
done
dive
now.
into that, right? I don't want to dive into that. We just want to talk about the importance of these things. You know, we're talking
Yeah.
about look, if we place more weight on technology, there are a lot of issues that can be solved.
Right.
A lot of issues. A lot of people can be developed. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that can be self-employed. That look, most of our you know customer service system here in the US, we have outsourced most of them. 80% of our
Oh yeah.
customer service
Oh yeah.
have been
Yeah.
outsourced outside of the country.
Yeah.
So if Liberia, places more weight on technology, create more awareness, as written tech is playing her part. If government look into that, because trust me, the other, I think 2 days ago, I was like, you know what? I think written tech have to take a lead where we will go for a march as well, just how they no to
Yes.
drug
Say no
march
to
just
drug.
went on.
Yeah.
Maybe written tech had to take a lead and then create that awareness. Just go to the Capitol building and say yes to technology, so that
Right.
the government
That.
can place some weight on this thing. Because
Yeah.
we keep preaching this thing, but it's sign like nobody's paying it, or if people are paying attention, they are not paying more attention to to this whole
Okay.
crusade.
So
But
thank
it,
you
it
guys
will
so much
it will
for.
help a lot to strengthen our economy and alleviate some poverty in the society.
Thank you so much, guys, for that for those brilliant ideas and discussion point. Brother Atta, if you're there, you need to turn your mic on, and then I'll be able to eye you back onto the stage, and then you can we can hear from you. So if you are ready to come back on, just connect your mic and get it on, and I want to eye you to the discussion. All right, gentlemen, let's move forward. So you'll realize that I did a graph. I just want to show that with regards to the SDG, right, from the UN, right?
Hmm.
The development goals for the UN, for 2035 or 2030, whatever that is, that every country should be at at certain point. So you realize that digital inclusion aligns with a lot of the pillars within that develop the UN development goals, right?
Right.
Poverty, quality education, gender equality, decent work, and economic growth, right? So with
Hmm.
digital inclusion, we can have all of these things. We can have decent work and economic growth. Like our sister yesterday, who you said went for that interview, if she
Right.
had digital, skills in basic program like Microsoft Word, she would have gotten a job.
Of
But because she
course.
didn't have that, so she missed out on that opportunity,
Right.
right? So I'm just going to bring Brother Ato on. We are talking about digital inclusion within Liberia, and we're going to just hear your input and your take on that, and then we'll give you 2 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next section of topic.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Everyone on this game, my name is Aker. And I kind of, there's this interesting topic when it comes to digital, as in most of in our country, Liberia, we kind of lacking a lot of stuff. Can you imagine? I just, yeah, now, 4 months ago, a lot of things I've seen here, and I said, well, wow, see what the country is kind of far from our society. For Can you imagine? You go at the higher institution, University of Liberia, people don't know you have an email. Can you imagine? Email address. They never come to your office, say, can you give me your email? Oh, man, I get email. Where you come from? I'm from University of Liberia. I'm from Cotiton. Can you imagine that? So
Yeah.
it is good. We have to really make the people understand. Much like why you guys into it's kind of a good thing that if we need to do more, because without technology, you're lacking a lot of stuff. Other countries around us, They are growing, they're going far. The country like Ghana, even our close known neighbor of Sierra Leone is growing faster than Liberia. Growing faster than Liberia until even in the governmental sector, you go to government area, people they don't even know this thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to customer service, they don't know this thing because they just take it kind of about so sad when you hear anything about technology and you tell people about it, they kind of blind to it. So they need more awareness, and I will be happy, and we all will support the team and we will take it down to the people. And the same Mark just said, the same way they just protested the gone town, saying no to job, I think we got to oppose the thing there back home. And
All
get
right.
awareness group on school to school and get everybody on board. Yeah, say yes to technology. Say yes to technology. So that will be good for them. So that's so
Yeah.
far all I gotta say.
Thank you so much. So let me just chip something in. So that is very key, right? The awareness is very key, and that's part of the problem is that people are not aware of these things, and if they are aware, the infrastructure is not there. They don't have access, which is another big issue. Infrastructure is lacking. And I'll just give you an example yesterday the intro for the podcast today, and I'll give an example on all our public schools, just public schools within Liberia. I don't know how many of them they are. There might be hundreds, like 5,000, 6,000, or 10,000 of them. I don't know how many of them there are. But imagine if we can digitize all the public schools where we have fully functioning ICT labs attached to all our public schools, let's say 5,000 of them. And we say we're going to have like 2 instructors at each of those high schools or those public schools. You know how many people we've employed? 10,000.
Yeah.
We've employed 10,000 just by digitizing our educational system in a high school. And I talk about the government offices, the district education offices, and at the county level and the district level. When I talk about digitizing all the places, so just from digitizing our public schools, if that 5,000 public schools that we created, like just across the board, hypothetically, we created 10,000 jobs for families, and you're paying them $300-400 a month. That's a lot of families they've taken out, and you've given. But we complain that there's no job and we cannot create job. But we can create job in these areas, and with just education. I'm not talking about going to healthcare, right? All our clinics, and we talk about we need network technician, we need hardware, we need developers or computer programmers, we need website designer, we need all these different like skill set from across the industry, and that's open up and creates a lot of opportunity. And then the more money we make in the economy, the more taxes government get, and the government can carry on its work. That's how it works.
Sure.
It's basic. That's how it functions. The more people you have working in the society, the more taxes government can get, and the more revenue government can take in, and government can be able to carry on its project and the things that it need to do. Right. So let's move on. We have 38 minutes. That means we have 20 minutes to go for today. So, but I want us to zoom in a little bit on Liberia, right? The digital divide. I know we and other developing countries, and you guys have highlighted most of the stuff. Like you go to a government agency, you go to some private places, businesses. There's no customer service. We're not using technology to access these things. But let's just hone in a little bit on Liberia, digital divide and digital inclusion in different sectors. We can talk about the financial sector, and I'll be an example of that on mobile money, right? And I said 20 years ago, 25 years ago, we didn't have mobile money. So we all had to go to Western Union Monrovia to receive money. And it was after several years before the banks even started going in outside of Monrovia. And I said that Liberia is not Monrovia, right? So we need to decentralize. But when it comes to digital inclusion, it decentralize most of these things, and everybody can have access to the services. So let's move in, bro. Mike, I'm going to start with you for your 2 minutes. Let's move in on digital divide in Liberia specifically, and just see how we can help what we can do, and what has been Rethink Tech role in bridging that digital divide in Liberia. And then we'll move on to Brother Blair, and then we'll move on to Brother Actor. You on mute.
Sorry. Look, I think the digital divide in Liberia, one of the major part of it is the awareness. How many people are aware that even your mobile phone you carry in your hand can make you to make money? How many people are aware that if you just know Microsoft Word, you're able to secure a job somewhere. So the awareness is a big problem. You know, I mean, you were there when we had our first launch in Sanico Day.
Okay. Yeah.
How most of those students were just they were just, oh wow, wow, because they were not they never had the slightest idea. So I think the awareness campaign is very, very important. It is important to bridge the gap. And this is where Retail Tech comes in, where we want to take. And I like what we're doing, right? Retail Tech is actually starting from the bottom. Instead of starting from Monrovia, we are moving to, those counties. Eventually, we're going to come to Monrovia, but we are moving to these counties and creating the awareness.
And there's a reason why we're doing that, right?
There's a reason why we're doing that. There's a reason why we're doing that. Go into these rural counties and create the awareness. And I always said this is a whole crusade. Take the crusade to the people in these rural areas. Tell them about it. Look, if we had, let's assume that we have like 120,000 people in Nima County. Out of those 120,000 people, if you have 20,000 people that are aware about ICT, know the importance, because it's not just the awareness, it's about knowing the importance. So whether you're a farmer, whether you're a banker, whether you're petty trader, whether you're a doctor, carpenter, once you have that digital idea, that ICT idea, you are one step ahead of the normal people. Because not being ICT literate is pretty much normal in our economy. But if you are aware, you are just one step ahead of the normal people. And I will go back to what happened a few days ago. It would have put that system one step ahead. You understand what I'm saying? So the awareness is one of the tools we can use to bridge the digital divide in Liberia. And I'm glad that Reading Tech is focusing on that, creating awareness, and we're going to keep pushing to create awareness in all of the 15 counties in Liberia, but one county at a time, as our RSC normally say. We are moving one country at a time. So yeah, I'm glad that we are creating awareness, and we're not only doing that, creating awareness, and then also creating the space, the environment. If you know about these things, knowing about it is different, but how about having access to it? We also
Yeah.
create a space where you're able to go there and have a hands-on free of charge. Free of charge. Go there, have a hands-on, be able to practice, get some training, and go to the advanced level if you so choose to continue in that area. If you still want to be a doctor, that's okay. You're a doctor, but now you're able to navigate between Word and Excel, the Access, and all of that. Time for presentation. You go and stand somewhere, use the Access and then your PowerPoint and do your presentation there. You use your Excel to collect all of your data. That's easy for everybody. I see this for everybody, no matter who you are. If you're a Kobo setup, if you decide to make your Kobo, standard, you can
Yeah.
have ICT knowledge, and there's a space there for you. So it's for everybody.
I mean, just to inject to what you said, right? I mean, you can't, and that's has been a problem with us is that we're not scaling our businesses, right? You start selling here, and that lady Oma or that sister or whoever it is has been selling out in that place for like the past 10, 15 years, right? But how can we use ICT or data inclusion to scale that business, right? You
Right.
can't just be selling at one place forever. How are you advertising your business online on social media? Like how so all of those things are quite important. Data inclusion, kind of help with those things, and the
I'll, I'll
awareness is very important. Yeah.
I'll give you one example. And let's just say a funny story. So 2 days ago, I sent one of my boys, Elijah. I do have a boutique in Liberia, by the way.
Yeah.
So most of what they've been manual. So this time I decided to create a database for the boutique. So I sent Elijah to the boutique, and the rest of the people that are there. Let's just create a database and put all of this together. And surprisingly, the manager of the boutique front on that. Like we've been doing this, this way, and now bringing it this way. Now you don't think it will confuse? No, there's no confusion about this. We're just creating a database to track all of our.
To make it easy for you.
And it was. I'm telling you, it was a serious problem. I had to be on the phone for almost 2 hours. I was in office 2 hours on the phone to educate them the importance of this. How you're going to make the job easy. You're going to make our cash flow better. We're going to know what we're doing and all of that. So the awareness again. It boils down to awareness. We have to create that awareness. Let people know the importance of ICT in our country.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Mike. All right, Brother Vlad, let's have a take on the digital divide in Liberia and what are some ways we can help you, and what are some ways I know you've been working very hard with Rating Tech and other like institutions like you currently in Nehemiah that's come been there for the past couple of weeks, almost a month now, or a month plus, just to help with the ICT lab for Rating Tech in San Nicola and how the training is going and how we are impacting the people like this. So just give us a take on that and how we are working in that space to help close that gap.
So currently, as I speak, remember we launched Written Tech launched our first cohort. So we're now just only saying there's a challenge when it comes to with the digital divide in Liberia. We are also solving the problem. For us, we are not just discussing the problem; we are solving it in our own way. So in our own way, June 2nd this year, we started our first cohort. We launched the ICT lab May 9th of this year. We started our first cohort June 2nd, and we have gone 2 months into instruction of our first cohort, and our program is running for 4 months. We are teaching introduction to computer, Windows 11, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Mavis Beckham. And we hope that before the cohort can come to an end, we will teach something we call internet and possibly AI. So currently we got over 150 community dwellers in our program, people from all walks of life. Like we say, technology doesn't discriminate, so we have people in their 60s who have the desire to learn ICT. Just last week, a man in his 50, for the first time in his life, he told me, he said, for the first time in my life, I was able to power on a printer, connect the USB to my computer. I was able to open a WAR file. I was able to clip file. I was able to select the printer, and I printed a hard copy. I took his picture, I dropped it in the room, and he was excited. So we are changing lives, we are building community, and we are doing it one step at a time. But let me say something as besides what we're doing with 150 students currently in our first cohort, we also have over 100 kids that is benefiting from our enrichment vacation program. So we partner with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We are offering a 2-month vacation program in San Nicola, and we got 100 kids who are studying ICT for 2 months. They come to our lab, we teach them Windows, we teach them Mavis Beckham, and they are doing a bit of Word. And with time, we might teach a little bit of coding if we have the time. But here's the thing. I just did a math. With $1 million US, Liberia can afford that. With $1 million US, we can go to China and buy this all-in-one. China got this all-in-one desktop computer, a simple computer but very powerful all-in-one. We can buy one for, it's actually 150 US for it, but to ship it and all the costs, so I value at 200. So with 200 US, and if we have 1 million, we can buy 5,000 computers. We can distribute those computers in schools like Toze were talking about, and we can hire 2 trainers each. We have created jobs. So Liberia can afford this thing. So the thing about it is about us being intentional about this thing. It's about us wanting to give our people it. This is not something that we just can afford. With just $1 million, we can buy 5,000 computers. You know what I mean? And we can place those computers in public schools. We can also use $1 million to buy a few desks and stuff. We can hire local carpenters to fill local desks that will not cost us much. We have also empowered the woodwork community, and they can produce desks for our people, for our children to learn. So imagine with just $1 million. If we're doing this thing every year we put 1 million in the budget and buy 5,000 computers. In 5 year time, we have bought 25,000 computers. So we are encouraging the government. I'm happy that they have this focus on data inclusion. They want library to be digital, but we are encouraging them to put money where their mouth is. It's not about having wonderful conferences and the photo ops. It's about spending the money where necessary. So imagine again, with $1 million, we can buy 5,000 computers. So it means with 2 million, we can buy 10,000 computers and we can distribute that around the government school. So Reading Tech is currently training 250 persons in sign equality. We are changing lives. We are
Wow.
building community. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Brother Ware. Brother Atta, we just want to have your
Yeah,
take on the digital divide in
yeah.
Liberia and how we can help to resolve some of the
Th-
issues.
Thank you so kind, Brother Webb. Did extremely well. This information I'm getting on, I'm very excited that indeed our countries are getting there little by little. Yet, all bow down to awareness. We have to let the people informed, let them know they have to be informed that these things are important. This thing is a way of life. You cannot live without technology. You cannot live without technology. You need this thing to be able to survive. You need this thing to be able to get your way through. Like you guys really said that the lady who had the opportunity because of RTC, she lost that job. So I think there are millions in Liberia. And the country talking about small that we can do well and help the country. Right now, the reason why Moro is so part to jammed, part to capacity, because the other countries are not decentralized. If it's
Yeah.
decentralized, the other country, you get less, you get less than 50 or 60,000 living in Moro. You see places will be empty. The reason why people run to Moro because they want everything out. They want to go there and get things easier for themselves. The reason I listen to the government say they do your decentralized the passport system, that I say, hey, that's a good idea, but are they going to sustain it? Had they did it before, and then you crash down. So they want to do that because can you sustain it? Because taking the passport to one country and that to name country, people that are working, are they sincere? Are they able to? Because when you put in for passport, you should be able in 2 3 days you will be able to get back to where you are.
Right.
But you can bow down to the RTC. Who are the technicians are there? Who are the people that are there? Because all the system down, the other one down. So awareness is important. You have to take awareness. Go to radio station. This thing we're doing right now. Take the radio station. Most of the radio stations that people really listening to. And, do awareness. The same with the data center. When they call people around, go from community to community. Do a PowerPoint presentation from country to country. And then that being they are waiting. They know they are waiting. So it's a better idea. Thank you very much, guys. And then they keep it up.
All right.
Uh,
Thank you
uh,
so much,
so,
Jeremy.
so, so, so quickly,
Yeah.
let me just chip into you 1 minute. Yeah, our brother talking about the passport issue. You know, when Manaseri was president in this country, we we put service centers in the 15 counties.
Yeah.
I
I
can
remember
tell
that.
you for free today, not even 2 or 3 is functional.
Everything down.
Not
Yeah.
even 2 or 3 of those service centers are functional. This is where donor communities spend millions of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of the service centers, they were solar power. So electricity wasn't a problem. Our thing is that we just haven't given technology a thought. Lastly, one thing we need to do is look at our educational system. In today's world, people are studying STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
we start looking at STEAM education, we're just not ready. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you so
So
much for that, brother. Those are very, very great point. Sustainability is a serious issue for us, and maintenance is a serious issue for us. Our international partners have invested a lot into some IT infrastructure in Liberia, but at the end of the day, there's nothing really left of those things uh, because we didn't maintain them, we didn't put measure in place to sustain those things. So in our last segment, we'll be talking about community engagement. This is Retain Tech Foundation, Retain Tech Talk. I will come to you every first Saturday of the month, but this August is the second Saturday, so we couldn't come on last week for some technical reason. So we are back on today. And if you want to follow us and learn more about Retain Tech Foundation, you can find us on the web at retaintechfoundation.org. You can find us on Facebook at Retain Tech, and you can also find us on LinkedIn at Retain Tech. And there, if you want to donate, you want to help in any way you can, you want to be partners, you can follow us on our page and get in touch with us. and let's connect, and let's help to digitize Liberia, and include everyone within the society in that bubble, and let's make it work. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute each. We got right 2 minutes, man. I mean, it's okay. So I'll give you guys 2 minutes each. Let's go over our parting comments, and then we will call it a day for today. It's been a great discussion. All right, brother. Let's start, brother. Willett for his 2 minutes, and then we'll move to brother Mike, and then brother Arthur, and then we'll close it out.
So again, for the last 55 minutes or so, we've been discussing digital inclusion, and all we want to say is that the government can play a major role. One of the way this thing works is by working with the private sector, because it's difficult for government to manage stuff. In other countries, government manage technically less than 5% of their stuff. They outsource it to private people, because with the private sector, it is more effective and efficient. Say, for example, in Liberia, our park we build, they are not managed by the government. So our parks are functional. They are working 24/7 because private people are managing this sector. So the Liberian government can partner with private organizations, say, help us build ICD lab. This private organization can go and source the computer, they can hire the trainer, and this lab will run effectively for public schools. I just did the math. With $1 million, you can get 5,000 computers. So if we just put 5 million in the budget, that can give us over 15,000 computers, and they
Brand new
can also
computers.
give us brand new computers. 15,000 brand new computers with desks and ACs, and we can solve this problem at the bare minimum. We should, for us in Liberia, everything. Look at the thing you were talking about. Our House of Representatives is asking a foreign country to build a website. You killing me? It doesn't cost more than 500 US to build a website. If you want to build a database website that will be inclusive, you can pay at least pay 1,000 or 1,005, and you can come to Reaching Tech, or you can come to several businesses in Liberia that can build your site here. We should stop asking people for things we can do ourselves. It's embarrassing, and it is laughable. So I'm happy that in our own way as Reaching Tech, we are doing our own part. Like I said, currently we got 250 persons in our program, and we are teaching them in the computer, Windows 11, Mavis Bacon, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Partner with us. In our next cohort, we will start asking people to sponsor at least a student. We're gonna do a fund. We're gonna do a fundraiser. At least currently we got 250 students. So if somebody can just sponsor one student, pay even $50 for that program, because now in Morovia, for somebody to learn any of these things I'm talking about, you're gonna pay around 100, 125 years. If you can just give us 50 US for one student, somebody can say, you know what, I want to empower 10 Liberians into ICD. Just contact Reaching Tech. Uh, Yotos is in Washington, Tacoma. Our website is www.reachingtechfoundation.org. You can find us. We are on Facebook. We are on LinkedIn. We are on YouTube. You can find us and help empower somebody. Thank you very much. That's my closing.
Thank you so much, brother Willett. Brother Mike, you wanna go?
Yeah, sure.
Ready?
It was a good show. Always a good show. This is where we come every first Saturday of the month to discuss the health of Liberia in terms of ICD. Reaching Tech is on the ground. We're able to get our boots on the ground, and we're talking about the divide, the ICD divide in Liberia. This process requires every hands on. It requires every hands on deck. We all have to be part of this process. We think that we are playing our part. For those of us out there, what is our part? What are we doing? How can we help to bridge the divide in Liberia? We think that we've started in Sanikore, like our RSC just said. We have about 150, 250 persons we are training, some of whom going to be graduating a few months from now. We are also planning to move into the next county, Grand County in Zoeju.
Yep.
All of these things, they require everybody's input. So again, we are calling on everybody to join us, to partners with us, so that we can bridge the digital divide in Liberia. The project is already going to be kicking off very soon. In order to maintain, to implement this project and maintain this project, we're going to need everybody's input. Every concerned Liberian, everybody who thinks that in this age, in this digital age, Liberia is being left behind. And everybody who wants to see the progress of Liberia somehow, leaving from where she is and going up, that bench can only be from ICT awareness. That's what we are doing. Please join us, partner with us. RSC just give you our website, rethinkTechFoundation.org. Go there, you're going to see everything about us, see all of our projects, see everything that we are doing. Most of these things we are doing on our own, self-funded. So we are asking donors out there, the government, individuals, whoever it is, join us. Let us fight this ICT divide pandemic in Liberia. And I believe
Is he frozen? Yeah, I think Brother Mark is frozen. Brother Arthur, if you are there, just come on and give us your closing statement. 1 minute. And
Okay.
then, yeah.
Okay.
Brother Mark
Thank you,
is
guys.
frozen.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. It was so good to be here today, and it's very, very wonderful. We hope and pray that it go well. And Jack said we 250 students in Lima County. We have to everything about that awareness because the people have to know. And it is good that we have Metastee, one of the bigger companies in Liberia, making community contribution to when it comes to Liberian economy. So we can see how best we can get to them because all the things they do, they need to, that's why they bring people from India, from Nepal, and then they work in with Asada Meta. So when we can get our own Liberian brother or sister fit into the system, by then helping, we can reach up to them. Oh, man, actually, this is the idea. This is the idea we're portraying. This is what we want to do. Because I think according to the consensus agreement, they always sending people outside to train. But I don't know how many Liberian, but then sending outside. So one way or other, they can contribute towards this project by maybe paying for 1 or 2 students every budget year or every time they do that. That would be a great help. Who knows tomorrow? For those kids that are training, for those guys that are training, or women that are training, one of them can be manager or personal manager or someone somehow there to work with them. So we got to sell the idea to them and see, because I believe they are Westerner. They've been in Oxford, they got operation Oxford and then in Liberia. With that said, I think we have to reach out to them and be able to sell the idea. To my closing point.
All right. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
think Brother Mark is back. He will finish
Yeah.
his part statement. And then I will close us out for today. All right, Brother Mark, you back on.
I wasn't hacked, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So as I was saying, we are asking everyone out there to join us, so that we can spread this good news all over Liberia. So we can spread this good news in every region. Let the next generation know that, because of your input, because of your donation, they are able to achieve and make Liberia a great place again. Thank you.
All right. Don't forget to visit rethinktechfoundation.org to learn more, to get involved, or to make a contribution. I want to thank you for joining us today for this episode of Rethink Tech Talk. Digital inclusion isn't just a vision, it is a movement, and every action counts. So don't forget to subscribe, to share this episode, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. So we'll be coming next to you. This is August, on the first week in September, with another captivating podcast discussion on digital inclusion in developing country and most specifically in Liberia. So by then, we will be telling you more about the project in Zwedju. Zwedju, we are coming soon. Expect us. We are already on the ground. We are doing a lot of groundwork, and we are working in partnership with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, as I said yesterday, because they got youth center spread all across the country, and then we are using part of that space to set up these ICT labs. So you will be very visible very, very soon in Grand. We're still doing a lot of groundwork, and you'll be seeing us. So your contribution is needed to fulfill and to implement the project. And to do that, you can just visit us at greenteentechfoundation.org. That's a link for donation, and you can help in whatever way you can share, to share awareness and the rest of the stuff that's coming. So we'll thank you for joining us today. And that is how we will be drawing down our curtain on today's episode. Okay, Jeremy, I just want to thank you for the time and thank you for your input. I do appreciate you being here today. So to our listening public, we will thank you for listening. And if you'll be watching this video after, we'll also tell you thank you. Take care and bye-bye from our end. We'll be signing up for now.